everyone, and thank you so much for joining us this morning. Today, we are going to be talking about the mistakes most entrepreneurs make while it's in the process of building their businesses. One thing about building a business is that it's not an easy process, and being an entrepreneur basically it's quite a long road, which is a bit difficult. Today we're joined by the CEO of M&J, Mr. Nyazungu. Mr. J.
Hi, Tamuka. Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for joining us. So I think we may just delve deep into the topic, entrepreneurs and the mistakes that they make. What inspired you to actually come up with this topic, and what moved you to actually maybe talk to entrepreneurs about this issue?
Yeah, thank you very much, Tamuka. I think to start with, when you talk about entrepreneurship, it's something which is it seems very simple. Like if someone is working somewhere, they just want to leave that job, they want to start their own. Maybe because what will be happening is as you'll be getting a salary, and when you're now owning your own business, you actually think that if I'm going to own my business, everything is going to be rosy. I'm going to make a lot of money. I'm going to make a lot of cash. But that's when you start to see a lot of challenges, especially in terms of when you want to grow that business. When you're now talking about you want your assets, you want to improve, maybe to grow that business, you want rentals, you also want salaries. And you now also have got a team which is actually on your back. They also want salaries, they want welfare. So that's all about entrepreneurship. But I would also want maybe to discuss this topic in another angle, whereby we are saying entrepreneurship, people, they think that the shareholders of the company or the founders and the owners of the company, they are the only entrepreneurs. But to the contrary, I believe that everyone who actually gets into an organization, whether they will come after that organization has already been founded, then they join. I believe they are also entrepreneurs. So entrepreneurs is someone who actually treats that business as their own, or someone who's got a stake into that business. So the biggest mistake actually people make is to believe that only the founder and the owner of that business is the only entrepreneur in that business.
I think that's quite an insight looking at it. Was I heard someone actually saying there's a difference between an entrepreneur with an E and then an intrapreneur with an I. So maybe just to expand further on that point, how can actually business people who are in business, founders, actually build a team of entrepreneurs within their organizations?
Yeah.
How do you find such employees?
Yeah, like the biggest mistake people make when they're in business, like when you start a company, you don't share the vision with your team. Hence, when someone joins, they just treat that business as yours, because you are telling them that you can't even handle my bank accounts, or if there are cars, they belong to me. If anything, you actually owns everything. So what we want to dwell into is if you're an entrepreneur, like if you're a founder of an organization, everyone who is joining that organization, they must be actually you must actually take them through the vision. What do you want to achieve as a company? Because this vision is impossible to actually achieve it as an individual. You need various people with a lot of the various skills to help you actually attain your vision. If you look at it, even the likes of Steve Jobs, if you look at the likes of Bill Gates, they people who they started working with them when they were starting their vision, and some of them, they still have those people, and those people maybe they are now billionaires, etc. So what I think is when you want to build a company, when you want to build an organization, which maybe is going to last for over 20, 50, 100 years, you need to have a right team, which you are going to recruit, and stop treating them like employees. And also, it doesn't make any sense when you also recruit a talent and you start telling that talent what to do.
All right, all right, all right. I think that's quite an insight, especially the point that you actually raised, that it doesn't make sense to actually recruit talent and then you tell that talent what to do. So maybe before we actually go to the points, maybe you might actually want to expand on that, especially on the issue that you raised to do with talent, because if you actually listen to most business people, even most business leaders out there, they actually say recruiting people who are skilled enough is now expensive. They look at recruitment in most cases of people who are innovative as an additional expense to a company. And I think we've heard you several times actually say that you can't be running a business where you're actually the only person who's working in that business. Can you expand more on that? To actually say, how do you find talent and how do you keep talent?
Yeah, thank you very much. Talent is there, and especially the Zimbabwean economy, it has got a lot of talented young and old people. We've got many skilled people are coming out of universities, colleges. But the thing is now, it's a dedication to actually find those right people. It is not a day's job. You are supposed to be a process whereby every day, if you get into chicken in, if you get into even if at a funeral, just look for actually potential guys you can do business with. Because I believe that you need a team around you, which is going to actually drive this vision which you have. So the first step which you should do as an entrepreneur is to treat recruitment like what we said in another session, where we're actually saying we should actually behave like these soccer teams. Just imagine if the likes of Manchester United and Chelsea, they didn't have a recruitment, maybe that they call it a scouting department, whereby they've got scouters in Africa, they've got scouters in Asia, scouters in every continent, if not in every country, trying to put these academies whereby they actually recruit those players to come and play for Manchester United, to come and play for Arsenal, to come and play for Chelsea. That's why those teams, they're always on top. But us as companies now, we think that if you just recruit someone once, it actually means that it's done. When you recruit one person, you think that that person maybe is not going to leave, because it happens also in business. You must also know that people come and go. Just like in soccer, someone might be a best player for Chelsea, but he may not be a best player for Manchester. It's now depends according to the coach's strategy, to the management strategy, whether this A player in Manchester United is going also to be an A player in Chelsea. I think we've noticed in soccer whereby most players have flopped in other teams. But as entrepreneurs now, we believe that if we employ someone who was good, maybe at Econet, is going to be actually good into a small company like M&J. That is impossible, because the culture of M&J, the way things are being done, maybe at Econet, this person was just doing receipting only. But at M&J, maybe now, when a bookkeeper or an accounts clerk, you're supposed to do a lot. So this is what we need to actually to tell entrepreneurs to say, recruitment, it's every day, wake up thinking of actually recruiting. Even if it's possible, let us have an HR team which is busy hunting for talent every day.